I'm sure you've tried to implement a specific habit into your life, telling yourself that, hey, I'm gonna do this now for 30 days, no matter what. And then after like 3 or 4 days, you're back to your old habits and you're procrastinating just as usual. I've definitely done that over and over and over again. So in today's video, I basically wanna go through 3 ways to combat this and to make your habits stick long term. And these are some tricks that I've battle tested and implemented into my own life, and they definitely work. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is that nutrition, sleep, and exercise are key. And this might sound super basic, but this one is probably like the most important one out of all of the 3 things to actually improve your performance when it comes to having your habits stick. So let's start off with sleep. So let's say I'm trying to implement a new habit into my life where I'm going to go to the gym for 3 days every single week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And in version number A of myself, I am sleep deprived. I'm sleeping like 5 to 6 hours every night. I'm feeling really bad. And in version number B of myself, I'm fully rested. I'm sleeping 8 to 10 hours every single night. I'm getting a ton of deep sleep and a ton of REM sleep, and I'm feeling super good. What version of Max do you think is going to be able to go to the gym easier and produce better results? Well, obviously the fully rested Max, who is not sleep deprived, right? So sleep is super important, not only when it comes to physical things, but also when it comes to mental things, when studies, building a business. So for example, if you run a business and you're sleep deprived, your competitor who's fully rested is going to be able to produce so much better work than you and be able to run laps around you. Same thing with studies. If you're sleep deprived and somebody else in your class is fully rested and taking care of their sleep, they're going to be able to produce a lot better results than you. So sleep is super important. Same thing with nutrition. So let's say this version of myself is eating McDonald's and chips and drinking Coca-Cola every single day, trying to go to the gym. And then version B of myself is actually taking care of my nutrition, eating good food, doing intermittent fasting, tracking my calories, tracking my protein. This version of myself is going to outperform this version of myself in all fields. Same thing goes with exercise. So if version number A is just lazy, fat and tired, not doing anything, and then version number B is slim, hungry, energetic, and want to get good results, obviously this version is going to outperform the other one every single time. So if you want to get your habits to stick, the first thing that I highly recommend that you look over is your sleep, your nutrition, and your exercise. Make sure that you go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time, and try to sleep at least 8 to 9 hours every single night. And if you want to take it to the extreme, you can even buy like a sleep tracker, like an Oura ring, where you can see exactly what your sleep was like the night before. The second concept I want to talk about to make your habits stick is something that I like to call eat that frog. And this is something that I actually heard from Mark Twain, and he said, if it is your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. If it is your job to eat 2 frogs, it is best to eat the biggest one first. So basically what he means by that is to do the worst task that you have for the day first. Do the one task that you're most likely to procrastinate on, do that first. And really the best way that I found to be able to prepare to eat that big ugly frog in the morning is to prepare for it the night before. And I like to call it plan tomorrow today. So what I do every single night before I go to bed is that I just sit down with a simple pen and paper and I review the task that I have to get done for this week or what I have to get done tomorrow. And then I just list out and time out and plan everything that I'm going to do tomorrow. And I always plan the biggest frog first. So the biggest task that I really don't want to do, that I really want to procrastinate on, I make sure that I do that task first thing in the morning. And this all comes from the concept to eat that frog. And this really goes hand in hand with another concept that I talk a lot about on this channel, which is deep work, which is basically doing deep work first thing in the morning for 3 to 4 hours. Basically undisturbed work where you're not being disturbed by anything and you're just focusing on one thing at a time. You basically want to do that one thing with this biggest frog that you have to get done first. So this is also a really good hack to get your habits to stick, to just do the worst thing first. The third concept I want to talk about when you're trying to get your habits to stick is to not expect perfection. Well, so what do I mean by that? Well, Zig Ziglar once said, people often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. So when you're implementing a new habit and you're basically trying to break an old bad habit, don't be too hard on yourself and don't expect yourself to perform perfectly right out of the gate. every single time. So when and if you fail, just forgive yourself, get up and move forward again. Basically just try again and again and again and again. The only failure you can really experience is if you just give up. So a really good motto that you can implement into your life, and this is something that I've implemented into my own life as well, is to never miss twice. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's say you have a habit that you're gonna do a specific task for like 30 days. Let's say you do this task for 7 days in a row, everything is going great, and then you miss it on day number 8. Then just have this motto to never miss twice in your head, which basically means that if you missed yesterday, you have to do double today. Never miss 2 days in a row, and if you miss one day, you have to do double the next day. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward, it's pretty simple, just never miss twice. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. Let's make a quick summary of the 3 ways we discussed to improve your habits and make them stick. So the first thing we talked about was nutrition, sleep, and exercise are key. So make sure that you're fully rested, you're eating good food, and you're also exercising a little bit every single day. And in my opinion, sleep here is probably the most common mistake a lot of people do. Pretty much everybody's sleep deprived and they're walking around like zombies every single day. So make sure that you take care of your sleep, then look over your nutrition, also look over your exercise. And if you fix those 3 things, I promise you that it's going to be so much easier for you to perform better, but also so much easier to make your habits stick as well. The second concept we talked about was to eat that frog. So basically do the hardest thing first. The one thing that you're most likely to procrastinate on, don't do it later in the day. Do it the first thing in the morning. And it's going to be so much easier to complete it and make it stick as well. And then the third thing we talked about was to don't expect perfection. Don't be too hard on yourself. And if you fail, just continue, move forward and do your best. So yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure that you leave a like, subscribe, and also leave a comment down below as well what you thought of the video. And also if you have any specific techniques that you implement into your life to make your habits stick, please let us know in the comment section. And also if you enjoy content about entrepreneurship, productivity, and mindset, consider subscribing. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video.